It's not late night, quite the midnight. You know you can call on me, sitting in the moonlight, waiting on a green light. You can put it all on me, waistline run like water to the ocean. Constant flow turns time into potion, a recipe, especially for the chosen. Like, growing up here in Barbados, I feel like we got to have like a really interesting mix of exposure to things. So between my mom on Sunday mornings playing her Ella Fitzgerald and her Billie Holiday and thing, and then I get a little older and I get to listen to my jazz, like really explore it for myself and fall in love with Nina Simone, Sarah Vaughan. Listen, we could talk about the jazz real long, I ain't gonna lie, but I can tell you about the rest. Yes, so CBC, that's what we had my whole childhood. Yes, I got to listen to Regina Bell. If I could listen to me, I got to listen to I'm feeling listen, it was sweet. We're gonna get a little serious now, right? Because I have to tell you a little bit more about like why I write and why I create and stuff like that. And truthfully, it comes from a very important place. Like, for me, I feel like there's a lot of space right now in the music where you kind of get lost and you kind of like forget to really connect with the material because it's very much for a moment rather than for a time, if that makes sense, you know? So I wanted to write things that felt uniquely like the listener. And in doing that, I had to write things that I felt were actual stories that I could tell. So it's really important for me to just be honest, be authentic, and have something that people can connect to. So that's the most important thing to me when it comes to the writing. When it comes to live performing, I would say that's probably my absolute favorite part of being a performing artist. More than even writing the stories is actually getting to tell the stories and share them with people. That sense of connection that you get with an audience, big or small, I don't think there's anything that genuinely beats that. Outside of perhaps when I get to have conversations with people afterwards, and like it's been really beautiful interacting with people after I perform, specifically because you get to find out how what you did impacted them, like the ways that they think. I've had people come up to me and say, hey, like you helped me with my grieving process, you helped me with a emotional breakthrough here, or yo, like I was having a bad day, and like that do it for me. Thank you so much. Like people have literally come up to me after various performances and said things like that, and it kind of gives you the will to keep going. A lot of times you might be creating in spaces and you might feel a little bit like, where is this going? Who is this going to touch? Who is this going to reach, you know? So being able to actually connect to the people individually is magnificent. So I may or may not have been having one of the worst weeks of my life when I did my first Mahilia's Corner feature. And I kind of was at a point where I was actually going to quit singing, quit music, quit everything. And that kind of turned things around for me. Not necessarily because of the response that it received, which was fantastic, magical, I ain't gonna lie, like I still get called the chandelier girl. But more so because in that moment I felt transported. And now bear with me guys, I ain't get a little spiritual here, I ain't gonna lie. But I think that as artists and performers and creatives, we have a very special calling. Like not anybody can articulate the way we articulate, and it's really important for us to understand the gravity of what we do. And in that moment, I felt like I was sitting out in the audience watching myself. I was not just healing other people in that audience, but I was also healing myself in that moment. And I think as memorable moments go, that is definitely up there on one of the most impactful experiences I've ever had. And I've had other moments like it since, but yeah, that was magical, and you guys got to see it, so I figured I'd highlight that one. Honestly, just be authentic to yourself. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like the people who engage with me and have stayed with me are not just there because I can sing well, because this is Barbados. There's something in our water. There's a lot of us that can sing really well. I think what people connect to with me is that I am myself. You know, I'm not fanciful. I'm not pretentious. I don't have the airs and the graces. I am very much just me. And when I go on stage, it might be a more dressed up version of that, but it's still the same. It's still the same girl from this one, St. Philip, you know. And at least I would like to think so, because I definitely don't be trying to do nothing fancy. But yeah, like, just be yourself and let people get to know you and fall in love with you.